Hey everybody, Crypto Mentor 99. How you doing? So I have no idea if my 3,900 subscribers even care about China or Hong Kong, or if they follow Hong Kong and China in the news. But I just had a very interesting conversation, dare I say fascinating, with a gentleman from China that I want to talk about. So let me back up. Hong Kong is of interest to me because I have a friend, well, several friends actually, in Hong Kong. They are not involved in cryptocurrency at all, but they're good people. They're my friends. So I'm always watching Hong Kong in the news. And I'm also watching China whenever that's in the news. And there's a couple of crypto projects that I follow in China. And prior to meeting this gentleman today, here's what I would have thought about the clash between China and Hong Kong. I would have told you that all of Hong Kong is like revolting or rebelling against mainland China. Its leaders, their policies, etc. And I never really gave a thought what someone who lived in China, what their view of Hong Kong was, and if they believed in the demonstrations and the riots. I never thought about it from that perspective, but I often wondered, is all of Hong Kong rebelling and revolting against mainland China, its policies, its leaders, etc. So, it's Sunday, September the 1st today. Every Sunday we go visit my Mrs. Crypto Mentor 99's mom and dad. They live here in town. We bring food in or take them out. They're in an assisted living facility. They're older and they need some help. So, today we go to my in-laws' favorite Chinese restaurant and we get food to go. And we've been there before. And there's a guy comes out and he takes our order and I'm like, man, he looks like he's Chinese to me. Now, I don't know if there's a distinction or a huge difference between someone who's Hong Kong, which obviously has a Chinese background of culture, and someone from China. I don't know if there's a difference the way people look, but I'm like, this guy, he looks like he's from China. So we came back to the table. I said, sir, would you mind if I asked you a question? He said, no, go ahead. I said, are you Chinese? And he said, yes. And he was like 40 years old. And I said, I'm watching with great interest what's happening in China and what's happening in Hong Kong. Would you mind if I asked you a few questions? And his eyes got big. He's like, oh no, I would love to talk about it. So I just gave him my perspective, what I just said a couple of minutes ago. I said, I've got a friend or two in Hong Kong and none in China. And I said, I don't know if my guess would have been all of Hong Kong is revolting against China. And I'm like, is that true? And I don't even know if what this guy told me was true. I have no reason to not to believe it. But he said, and this shocked me, utterly shocked me. He said 99% of China is for what the government is doing to rein in some of the people, or not all of the people in Hong Kong, but the protesters. I'm like, okay. I said, what about the people in Hong Kong? Like, does everybody, is everybody protesting? Because, what I read in the news, I don't always believe. He said, no. He's like, probably 10% of everyone who lives today, right now in Hong Kong, is with the rioters. They agree with the stance that the rioters and the protesters are taking. And I'm like, you mean 90% of Hong Kong thinks what the rioters and protesters are doing is goofy? And he's like, yeah. And 99.99% of the people in China think the way the government is enforcing, the police in Hong Kong to have restraint instead of, shooting people other than with water cannons. So I find it fascinating that there's only 10% of the people in Hong Kong actually believe and are like rioting or protesting. I would have thought that number was 40%, 50%, 60%, dare I say 70%. So, and I'm learning all the time about Hong Kong and China. I'm not trying to act like an expert. I don't really have an opinion what the protesters are doing or what they represent, but if there's anyone listening that has any insights to add to Crypto Mentor 99's understanding of what's happening in Hong Kong, please let me know. Send me an email, cryptomentor99@yahoo.com, cryptomentor99@yahoo.com. And again, this is not a political YouTube video. I'm just fascinated with what's going on in Hong Kong. And there's a lot of protests and riot basically on every continent, right? But I'm just particularly interested and have had my eyes on Hong Kong and China. China with my investments and Hong Kong because I have friends there. Anyhow, Crypto Mentor 99, if you know anything that you want to add to this conversation, please do in the comments section below. I would love to hear it. And thanks for listening and thanks for being part of my crypto family. See you later. Bye-bye.